Good evening and welcome to Blurpun Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhas Gopal Krishnan. Viewers, there's a new twist in the ongoing family battle over late Sunjay Kapur's 30,000 crore rupee estate. A hearing took place in Delhi High Court on the suit filed by Karisma Kapur's children, Samaira and Kian. They've told the High Court that the will of their late father, industrialist Sunjay Kapur, was not registered and raised concerns over its sudden disclosure. They have further alleged that their stepmother, Priya Kapur, forged their father's will. Representing Karishma's children, lawyer Mahesh Jetmalani has argued that circumstances around the will were suspicious. He has contended that Karishma's children were first told that there was no will, and suddenly a document was presented to say that Karishma's children are not the beneficiaries. The petition has been accessed. Let's take a look at what all it really mentions. Now, this is what it has specifically said as far as this particular plaint is concerned. They've said that the plaintiffs and their father were in regular contact. They have further added that around April to May 2025, Sanjay told kids about acquired assets in Europe. Sanjay further said that he was in the process of applying for Portuguese citizenship for the entire family. After Sanjay's demise, the plaintiffs were told that there was no will that was left behind. They were told that the RK Family Trust had all the assets in it. Later, it was alleged that the last will of the plaintiff's father was flashed. The plaintiffs verify that they believe that the will was not registered, and also, of course, have added that not providing a copy of the alleged will adds to the suspicious circumstances, quote unquote. This is what has been stated as far as this particular petition is concerned. Priya Kapur, however, has challenged the maintainability of the suit. Represented by senior advocate Rajiv Nair, Priya Kapur has told the court, and I quote, "For all this crying and weeping that is going on, plaintiffs received 1,900 crores from the trust." Priya Kapur's lawyer was referring to the Rani Kapur Trust, claiming that 1,900 crore rupees worth of assets had been transferred to Karishma's two children from this particular trust. Now, after hearing all of these arguments, the High Court has then directed Sunjay Kapur's widow, Priya Kapur, to disclose details of all his movable and immovable assets as known to her as of June 12th. In fact, the court has, however, refused to order a status quo on all assets while posting this matter for hearing on the 9th of October. The court has also sought a response from all parties in relation to this particular suit. Let's quickly go across to Dipankar, who's joining us. Dipankar, this is very significant in terms of the legal battle that's playing out. It's a high-profile case, and both sides have put forth their arguments before the court as to why they believe that injustice is being done to them. Quickly take us through what really are the facts that the court is likely to consider in coming days to arrive at a decision.
Well, yes, now they have the submissions have been made before the Delhi High Court, where on one side where the children are concerned, the Karisma Kapur's children are concerned, it has been stated that the will that has been given to Sanjay Kapur will, the impugned will, is a fabricated will, and it has raised certain suspicious circumstances around the will. It has where it has been stated that the witnesses who are the witnesses of the will were working in collusion and in conspiracy with Priya Kapur. These were the submissions, these are scathing submissions that came out from the side of the children being represented by Mr. Mahesh Jetmalani. While on the other hand, Priya Kapur had the counsel for Priya Kapur, that is Mr. Rajiv Nair, had clearly stated that these children had received 1,900 crore worth of assets from the Rani Kapur Trust a few days before this suit was filed. And what more do they want? This was a question that was put to the court as well as to the children, the plaintiffs in the matter, that what more do they want? These were some submissions that were made by Rajiv Nair. And on the other hand, Mrs. Rani Kapur, the counsel for Mrs. Rani Kapur, also chimed in and said that that she has also raised certain suspicions regarding the will, and she has been again and again referencing certain communications which she had sent out to all the parties, but she had never received any word back.
Okay, Dipankar, thanks so much for joining us and take us through what actually transpired inside the court. We are now joined by Mandira Kapur, who is the sister of late Sanjay Kapur. Many thanks for speaking to us over here at Times Now Mandira. To begin with, I would like to ask you about the ongoing hearing before the Delhi High Court regarding the legality of the estate of your brother, late Sanjay Kapur. The court has directed Ms. Priya Kapur to furnish a list of all assets. What are your expectations from these proceedings?
Well, we're looking forward to finally getting some information on what is going on. And actually, we're feeling heard for the first time. We're feeling like we're going to have some answers and some clarity on where everything's gone and how it's gotten there and what all there is, because everything was left to my mother and has all disappeared into thin air. So I guess, we're looking forward to finding out.
Now, the counsel representing Priya Kapur has stated that the children have already received assets worth 1,900 crore rupees prior to the filing of the suit. How do you respond to this assertion?
We're being told many things. Let's see everything, no? And besides, what is that even mean? There's a will that has come out where the children are not included. So how is that okay? Who all are included in the will? I mean, let's get to the bottom of everything.
Can you elaborate a little further on this dispute regarding the will that, in fact, Priya Kapur is relying upon? Because this purportedly transfers the entirety of your brother Sanjay Kapur's estate to her.
Well, all we have been told is, we received this suit that went to court, and all we have been told is that the kids were told that they are not a part of his will, which is bizarre. How can his life and his world be not considered as a part of his will? I don't even know what to say to you, because it is just it's shocking and it's bizarre for any father who dotes on his children to ignore his kids and give everything to his third wife. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
And would you have any supporting evidence to substantiate your claim that this will is perhaps forged?
We have no supporting evidence or anything. We didn't know there was a will. We just found out there's a will. We want to know more. We want to find out how this has come about. How in March did he create this will and leave everything to his wife and nothing to his kids, nothing to his mother? We want to know. We want to know what is going on. Again, we're back in the dark. Something new has come out. We have no information. Nothing's being shared. It's all a pattern being repeated.
And Priya Kapur has also submitted the certain WhatsApp messages as well. And these messages and emails allegedly sent by Sunjay Kapur, which according to her, confirm that the will was duly signed and executed before his demise. How would you respond to this so-called evidence that's being presented?
Wait, show it then. If you're so confident, show it. What are you hiding it for? If you've got all this, show it. Again, I'm going to come back when you have nothing to hide. You show things. That's all I'm going to say, because show it. If you're so clear and you've got everything, show it. Let us be at peace with, yes, This is what happened.
Yes. And your mother, Rani Kapur, has also opposed the will, stating that she too has been excluded. What is your response to this contention?
I don't think my mother is worried about her being excluded. I think my mother's biggest worry in life right now is that her job and her commitment to her husband was to make sure the grandchildren were settled. Right now, she has nothing in her name. From 2015, in 10 years, everything has gone. I think her worry is, how is she leaving this earth? What justice is she doing to my father? What justice is she doing to my brother? And what justice is she doing to any of us? To the grandkids, I don't think it's fair for my mother again and again and again to be put in this situation. Give her a break. Let her grieve my son. I mean, her son. Let her grieve. It's just non-stop being hit with stuff.
And do you believe that the children are in any position to produce any kind of evidence of Sanjay Kapur's assurances to them regarding their future, regarding their financial security, whether related to business ventures initiated in the name, assets, and so on and so forth, in terms of nominations also as beneficiaries of any trust?
I think it's sad if we're going to ask children to produce financial security. I think that's a parent's job. I want Priya to produce that my brother was not going to financially secure his kids. How can you ask kids to even how can you even ask the kids to say, how are you proving it? The proof was in the love. The proof was in their communication. The proof was their blood. I mean, you can't. The kids should not be put in this situation. You're basically telling your kids that, hey, listen, dad didn't really love you. I mean, I'm sorry, it's cruel and horrible what this family has been put through.
Right, and also certain associates have been named in the petition filed by the children. Do you believe that there's a larger conspiracy or a vested interest at play in this matter in that sense?
I've always said it. There is a bunch of people who are conspiring to take down this family. And I will keep saying it. And we will get to the bottom of it. All the names will come out and the truth will come out. There is nothing and there's no one in this world who can tell me that any of this is normal and is not a conspiracy to take down this family. No one can tell me that.
All right, Mandira Kapur, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us here at Times Now. Let's quickly open this up and take it across to our guest. Joining us with us is Advocate Smriti Churiwal, who is in fact Rani Kapur's co-counsel. Also joining us is Aditya Pratap, lawyer. Smriti, let me start by asking you, you heard what has been stated by Mandira, and she very clearly states that the entire onus is on Priya to prove that there was no concept or no willingness on part of Sanjay to will or give any of his assets to his two children on whom he doted very much. How do you respond to this contestation coming in from the sister of the deceased Sunjay Kapur?
While I fully agree with Mandira, because all throughout Mrs. Rani Kapur has also been asking for a copy of the will from everyone who is supposed to have a copy of the will. She has not been handed over. And yesterday we received a copy of a suit filed by Samaira and Kian Kapur, which exactly reiterate what Rani Kapur had been saying for so long, that we need documents, we need papers, we need to see what the will is, what the assets are. And it is exact reiteration of Mrs. Rani Kapur is what Rani Kapur has been saying.
Right. Aditya Pratap, I'd like you to respond to that, because perhaps this is not the first such family succession dispute that we're seeing, or I think we've lost that line over there. But how do you respond to the contention of Priya that there have been at least 1,900 crores worth of assets or worth of money that has been transferred to the children already, even before this suit was filed? Do you think that would be one of the mitigating circumstances in that sense?
In fact, we'll need to see the paper trail for that, because today itself we've been informed in court that 1,900 crore worth of assets have been transferred to the kids. While it is for Karishma and the kids to answer that, Mrs. Rani Kapur has not been informed of the same, and we have no information regarding that.
Okay. Aditya, your response to the charges that are coming in from the family side, that A, there was no such will that had been prepared, they had no prior information, and in fact the onus is on Priya Sajdev to prove that there was no plan to in fact incorporate the children in a will, which she says is surprising considering how much Sanjay loved his children.
Well, first and foremost, Priya Sajdev has managed to show a will. The will clearly bears the signature of late Sunjay Kapur, and Sunjay Kapur, being the testator, has every power to make a testamentary disposition of his property in a manner as he considers fit. Secondly, so long as there's a will in existence, the courts will presume in favor of the will. Third, in case the other side is trying to say that the will is fabricated, will is forged, let them show a handwriting expert's report which says that the signature on the will, which is relied upon by Priya Sajdev, is not that of Sunjay Kapur. Okay. Till now they have failed to do so. And moreover, whatever dispositions were made by Sunjay Kapur prior, that is separate, because moment Sunjay Kapur has died quite a while back. So obviously, any disposition of his property has to be governed by the terms of the will. And clearly, because Priya Sajdev has a will, we should remember the fact that the will which is with Priya Sajdev, being a will made by Sunjay Kapur, she can very well move the High Court to probate it. She can file a probate petition to get the will effected, and that will, because under the Indian Succession Act, it is the last will and testament which counts. So the latest will will override and overrule all previous wills made, irrespective of whether they are registered or not.
No, but Aditya Pratap, can you explain to us the incongruency of a situation where Portuguese citizenship is being applied for the entire family? That's what Sunjay Kapur has, shared in various communications with his children, with other family members. When they have this kind of communication, when all of these circumstances are taking place, why would he completely cut them out of the will? Can you explain that logic to us?
See, first and foremost, whether a person has to cut a person out of the will or not out of the will, that is totally his prerogative. Because tomorrow, in fact, the position of a testator is so powerful that even if he decides to will all his property to charity, that will be it. He can even will, so whatever. So he is supreme in deciding
that is a legal argument. That's a legalistic argument, but that's not how the world works. It looks extremely curious that a person would cut out his only children and not want to secure their future. Which person would want that to happen, especially, of course, when they're as young as these children are?
See, first and foremost, clearly all the family members involved have had very good and luxurious lives. So this is not a case. I mean, look at the common people in the country. They are the ones who have to secure their future. While all the people who are making allegations here and there, all are very well financially secure. In fact, 1,900 crores has gone to the children.
Well, he certainly has. Has he donated money to the common people of the country? Is that your argument?
May not. But what I'm saying is that the allegations about not being financially secure, etc., these are pretty much an eyewash or hyperbole, as I would call it. The last will which is there, it is the last will and testament.
But that argument fits both ways, sir. That argument fits to the person who claims that there is a will, and this is the argument of, this is the document that has been signed by the person in existence or any other family member. That is not an argument that fits on one side. In fact, let me get in our other panelists on that. Would you like to respond to that, Shruti?
So basically what I would like to say is the will was valid and it was in existence since March. Why was it not being given to the mother, who's a class 1 legal S? She's been asking for it from June, since the time Mr. Sachdev took control of Sona Comstar and Aureus. She's been writing to Ms. Priya Sachdev and all others, including Dinesh Agarwal and Nitin Sharma, and all that she's been told is that your email ID is compromised. She had to, in fact, come out in the media and send a handwritten letter to Ms. Sachdev to say that my email ID is not compromised.
How do you respond to that? Aditya?
No,
Sorry, we're not able to get your audio correctly, but, okay, Aditya's back with us, I'm told. Yes, Aditya, your response to that. Why has that copy not been provided to Rani Kapur?
Again, that is immaterial. See, the point is a will can even remain sealed at the time of the testator's death. It can be opened by the executor. And meanwhile, ultimately, whether the will is provided or not, that is irrelevant, because when the probate petition is filed, copy of the will be served upon all the parties to the case. So there is no question of the will not being provided. Ultimately, the point is simple. The question before the court will be very simple. Is the will fabricated or not? If it's a fabricated will, we all know the severe criminal consequences that arise in the event of a fabricated will. So clearly, Priya Sachdev is not so naive so as to fabricate a will.
No, but these are all legalistic arguments. That's very fine. But each and every circumstance, not providing the mother the will, not providing the family any position in the will, all of these are bound to raise questions, Aditya Pratap, as to the circumstances which led to this.
No, see, the point is, again, as you know, circumstantial evidence is not as powerful as direct evidence. Like, for instance, we have a will. Remember, the testator is no more. Indian succession law is very strict that when there's a will in existence, court has to determine whether the will has been executed by a testator or not, and does it fulfill the requirements of the Indian Succession Act. It is about just proving whether the will has been executed by the testator. If the will has been executed by the testator, then the disposition under the will be supreme.
Okay, Smriti Churiwal, there's only one legal test about whether the will is forged or not. And if Priya is able to prove that it wasn't forged, if it is forged, of course, there is huge criminal liability there. But then that's the only argument that the court needs to look at. You agree with that contention?
Also, one more thing. That the will, since today we have been disclosed with the date of the will, it's dated 21st March 2025. Of course, it is all subject to what court thinks and court decides. But the will is dated 21st March, which is just exactly 2 or 3 months prior to Sanjay's death. Doesn't it raise suspicions on the entire manner this case is moving forward? Every single day we are discovering new information. Why was this will concealed till now? And it is dated of 21st March 2025 while Sanjay was discussing Portuguese citizenship with his children.
All right. Many serious. Okay, Aditya, you want to respond to that? Curious circumstances surround this particular will. The origin of this will itself is in contention. Many questions that will have to be answered by Priya in court. That is ultimately the argument coming in from the family side.
No, well, Priya will not have to answer the questions. Onus lies on the person challenging the will to show that the will is forged. Courts will presume in favor of the will. In fact, see, ultimately, when a will comes before the court, what is the purpose of probate? Purpose of probate petition is to prove the will. It is to prove the contents of the will and prove that the will has been executed by the testator. It's not a full-fledged trial. The court will examine the witnesses. The court will examine the doctor, the registered medical practitioner who has given certificate of soundness of mind. That's all. It's a very limited inquiry the court will do in the course of a probate. So if the other side is not able to prove that the will is forged, and if they're only trying to use circumstantial evidence, I believe they have a very weak case.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for the moment. Aditya, Pratap, as well as, of course, Smriti, thank you so much for joining us and explaining to us what really the legal arguments will be. This is one legal battle that's going to be watched very closely at the moment. We'll have to slip into a quick break.